So I think that's straight, or fairly close. All right, so one of the new sets in the catalog, well, the upcoming catalog, is the Dragonfly Garden Suite. And there's actually two stamp sets, two bundles. One stamp bundle has the punch and the other one has dies. I won the stamp set at On Stage for the other one, so I bought the dies. So I'm waiting for my stamp set to get here, but this is the one we're going to play with tonight. And this is a beautiful set. It's so much fun. I wasn't real thrilled with it at first, but the more I play with it, the more I like it. Yes, let's have some fun. I had missed the Dragonflies. They're great for guy cards, and I'm so glad they brought them back. The other one we had was larger, but I'm glad they brought this one back. So that's what I'm going to be using tonight. And I'm specifically using this image, the stamp, For a True Friend, the sentiment, and those butterflies. All right, so let me show you my first card. All right, this one, I actually saw this online, and the person who did it with note cards. I want full-size cards. I like full-size cards. So I modified it a little bit to come up with this idea. All right. And she had used 4 colors. She had used pastel colors. And I thought, well, I'm not ready for pastels yet. So I pulled out Bumblebee. And this one is done with Bumblebee. I'm going to use just Jade for one. And Magenta Madness. And Misty Moonlight. So those are the colors we're going to use. So let's get started. All the dimensions will be posted when this is over. I always set it up to go an hour after this is over. Let me set that up there so we know where we're headed. Now, I'm going to pull in my scrap paper. The first thing you need to do is you need to cut rectangles. And the best way to do that is to use the stitched rectangles. Now, if you don't have these, you can do regular rectangles. And this is the actual rectangle that I use. So it's the 4th one down from the big set. And I cut out all 3 pieces of that. So the first thing I'm going to use is I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to sponge the background. Now, I don't want it real dark, and this is a dark color. So I'm going to do a light hand. All right, I'm using my brushes. And I'm starting off and I'm going down. All right, and as you can see, it's really dark. And I didn't want a dark color. So I'm starting way out and coming in. So that's a way to get the lighter color. All right, without having it overpower, so to speak. So then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And I'm just kind of going up, and you'd be surprised how much you can move that ink around, just continuing to swirl your brush around. And I pulled out my really, really large ones, and this is shaking I got to figure out a way to put my camera up on something that it's not going to shake. I was hoping it would sit on my windowsill, but the arm is too long. It won't work. It falls forward to get it to come all the way out, unless I go way back here, and I don't want to do that. All right, so there's my blue. And I'll be honest with you, I love this blue. I just think it is the prettiest blue, so I use it a lot. Now, what I did was I took a piece of basic black, and this is cut 2 3/4 by 4 1/8, I believe. I think that's what it is. Yep, I remembered. 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. But remember, it's going to be on the blog, on the page after, or the group as a post after this is over. And I'm going to take and I'm going to stick the 2 of these together. All right. All right, so I've got that. Then you need a Whisper White card base. It's your normal card base, 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Fold and burnish it with your bone folder. All right. This goes on, and I didn't want this too thick because I want to be able to mail it with one stamp. So it needed something behind it because it was so plain. So I pulled out those butterflies that's in the set, and I'm going to use this to help me decide where it goes. So I'm going to know that my first one's going to go here, and I'm going full strength on this, and I'm kind of I'm trying to go at an angle. Sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. So there's that. All right, this goes here and this goes down here. So I've got those in. I've got a thing over here where I can clean it. All right, so got that. Now I need to stamp my main image. And that is that really tall image. And it's stamped with my Memento ink. All right. So I'm going to turn that, and I probably should have stamped this beforehand. Let me get my paper because it's going to go on my mat if I don't. All right, so I've stamped that down like so. All right. I'm going to set that up there. This I'm going to put on my card base. And again, I'm going to use some glue so that it's flat. And I've got like 4 things of glue up there that I'm trying to use up. And I am centering this side to side and top to bottom. All right. To make our little sentiment, I took a strip that's 3/4 of an inch wide by 4 inches long. And then I'm going to use the Banner Triple Punch to flag the ends, both ends. I'm going to flip this over. It's bowed so it's not sitting down in there right. And I flip it over. Actually, I don't know if you can see. There's 2 lines right here. If you put your paper between those 2 lines and have it evenly spaced, you'll be able to get a good punch, straight punch. So it's going to take me a few minutes since this is bowed. Is this going the right way? Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it was laying the right way. All right, and it's just inside these outside lines. All right, so there's one end. Now I'm going to do this end, and this one I can't use those, so I'm going to use my spacing side to side up here to punch the other end. I'm going to make sure it's all the way in, and then I'm going to make sure it's even and punch. Now if you don't have this punch, you can very easily just punch or cut the ends up and then flag it. Now it's time for our sentiment. Excuse me. And I pulled out For a True Friend, and I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. Hopefully it's straight. Oh, and it's thick. I inked that up the other day. I got to remember that. All right. This I am going to put on with dimensionals. And I'm going to put one at the end. And then I'm going to put 2 down the middle, but I'm going to put them going in the opposite direction from the end ones so that it kind of gives it some spacing. And one more at this end. Hopefully that ink was dry and it's not going to smear. All right. Oh, and I just threw my dimensionals in the trash can. What was I thinking? See, I tell you, it's been one of those days. All right, I'm going to take my dimensionals off the back. All right. And, oops, those are stuck to me. And then this I'm going to space evenly. I'm just kind of looking at the sides there. I don't want it too far over. And I'm going to press it down. Then it needed something, so I decided to punch out a little tiny dragonfly, and I'm going to add it. And this I'm going to add this one with a mini dimensional right in the middle. I'll take my back off. This would be a great scent to make a bunch for. And then the finishing touch is I have some of the elegant faceted gems, and those come in clear, I think it's, yeah, clear petal pink and white. I'm using the clear and I'm using the small one, and I'm going to add it, if I can get this off of here. Come on here. There we go. Well, it was on there. I'm going to add that right at the very top of that top flower. And there it is. So there's the yellow one. There's the blue one. All right. So let's see. Let's make another one. How about Magenta Madness? And I'm going to pull this down a little bit so I use it this way. I'm going to pull in this. And I've got another brush. I can't be bothered with cleaning them. You know, I know that they say you can do this on a cloth and it doesn't come out, but I'm telling you, this is water-based, and when you put it with that, it does. It comes out. I've never had success, so I use a different one for each one. All right, and I'm again going to start off. I'm going to move down some and go in because this is a bright color also. And as you can see, I'm going to be able to do the whole piece. All right. And it's okay if one side is darker than the other, because that just gives it some interest. All right. This one needs some more. I think I put a lot on that other one. All right, so there's our Magenta Madness. This time, I'm going to stamp it before I put it on the black, because the measurements are all the same for each card. Now, I've used Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. What color do you think I'm going to do for the last one? Take a guess. I'm going to add that there. Go. Move that out of the way, get a piece of black to put it on. And I'm going to wave it a little bit to make sure it's dry. And I'm going to add this to the black. Hey, Barbara. Glad you could join us. All right, I'm going to put this one down on here, and as you can see, that one corner is darker than the rest, but that's okay. It just adds some interest. So I've got that done. I'm going to pull in my card base. Same thing as before. Whisper White, 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. All right, like so. Again, I'm going to use my panel to get the placement of my butterflies behind it. Now I say they're butterflies, but they could be dragonflies. Who knows? I don't know. I say they're butterflies, but maybe they're dragonflies. Who knows? Okay. And I am going full strength for this. Now, if you don't like the full strength, then off stamp it. But I think the full strength is fine, and that's blow on it a little bit. All right, and then it comes down here, so I'm going to stamp it here. So I'm basically creating an angle across my card. All right, there's the Misty Moonlight oh, the Misty Moonlight. There's the Magenta Madness. Oh my gosh. Ladies, can you tell it has been a day for me? Oh my gosh. All right. This one is going to go down just like the others, centered side to side, top to bottom. All right. There we go. I'm going to pull in my strip 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches, and I'm going to punch the one end. You can make this strip longer if you want. Just cut it longer. But I thought it was fine this way. It was just to go across the bottom. Since I had the butterflies there, I felt it was fine. If you don't put the butterflies on, you could make this strip go all the way across. All right, so I've got my 2 pieces cut. All right, now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. All right, I'm going to try not to have it too, that's a little, I think I got it there. Let's see. I'm going to stamp it in the middle. I didn't want it to blob out. There we go. Yes. All right. Going to add this with dimensionals, just like before. That one. No guesses on what color I'm using next? Come on, ladies. Take a guess. What do you think? All right, I'm going to put one here. And I need my pokey tool. Well, we've got a yellow, a pink, and a blue. All right, come on. One more, and this is stuck down the wrong way. Oh my goodness. Barbara is the winner, Barb. Good guess. I'm going to use Just Jade next. If I can get this backing off of this one. That's the only thing, is if this flips over, that other side sticks. So you got to pull it off. All right, going to add our sentiment right there. Okay. I'm going to pull in my dragonfly here. I punched on my dragonflies ahead of time. I figured you didn't need to see me punch those. And I'm going to add a dimensional to the back. And these are the mini ones. Take my back off. I'm going to add it down there. His tail is crooked. Okay, so yellow, pink, blue, and now we're going to do the green one. And I am using Just Jade. I'm going to flip this over so I have a clean spot. I'm using Just Jade for this one. So if you do this, keep in mind the colors that you use. If they're dark, start way off and work your way in. And I will tell you, if you kind of do like 1/3 of it and work your way down, and then you go to the middle and do the next section, and make sure you kind of overlap the two to avoid any issues. Once you get ink on here, it does do it a little bit better. All right. So there's one. Now I'm going to do this side. I'm going to start over here, work my way around. Hey, Wendy. And get this done. All right. And then I'm going to do this last one. Now I will tell you, I do not have the Stampin' Up! Brushes. I have had my brushes for several years. I got them off of Amazon, and I use them because I like them, because I've got, like, the set comes with like 8 different sizes. So I like that. All right. Oh, I was going to close that up and I can't. I'm going to close it though because I'll get ink on something. All right. Now, let's add this to our black piece. Like so. And let's see here. Okay, so I've got that on. All right, now my card base. So I can stamp my butterflies, dragonflies, whatever they are. I would assume they would be dragonflies, but they look more like butterflies to me. So who knows? And I've got a lot of pink on here, so I'm trying to clean it off. The magenta really stuck to it. All right, use my pants leg. All right, now I'm going to pull in my Just Jade. And I'm going to stamp those insects, whatever they are. All right, so my first one's going to go right about there. And I'm going to come down. And I didn't go all the way in, so it kind of, I don't know, it looks like they're swarming. And then when I stamp this one, I'm looking at that top coming down at an angle. All right, there we go. All right. You see how fast and easy this is? If you can mass produce this. If you needed 3 sets, cut all your paper, stamp all your colors at one time. And what a great card set. I mean, you could change your sentiment up. I use that one, but you could use thank you, thinking of you. Find your sentiments from your other stamp sets. All right, so there's that one. Oh no, I forgot to stamp it. Oh, okay. All right, so you're going to see how I fix it. All right, here we go. This is going to go on here like this, even with this bottom. I'm going to turn it this way because that other side is ragged. All right, this is what you do when you make a mistake. You have to find a way to fix it. All right, I've got one spot in my pad that's really thick with ink. I may need a new pad. I probably have used it so much that it's indented, so to speak. All right, so there, I saved it. All right, here's my Just Jade piece, 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches, and I'm going to stick this in here. All right, it's all the way in. I want to make sure it didn't feel like it was all the way in. All right, and I'm centering it. I'm using those little notches as help. I'll punch the one end. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to center it this time side to side on this piece. And punch it out. All right, now it's time to stamp my sentiment. Hey, Trudy. Oh, thanks, Trudy. Yeah, I'm thinking it looks like it's indented there, so I may need a new pad. All right, got it. That one's not real thick. So sometimes, I mean, when you use them over and over again for a long period of time, you do need to get new ones. They cave in, and it's just better if you invest in new ones so you have a nice stamp set. And actually I have like 4 or 5 around here, so I'll use this one up as much as I can with the ink, and when I can't stamp with it anymore, I will throw it away and bring out a new one. Oops, that one doesn't have any backing on it. It came off. All right. Okay, here we go. Now this goes on here, and I'm not making certain that this piece is in the same spot on each of them. I'm just putting it down where I think it goes. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add my gem up at the top. That helps hide some of that heavy ink. And my last thing is my Dragonfly. Okay. And stick it, a mini dimensional in there. Whoops. And I'm going to take that out. Get rid of that. And add my Dragonfly from the punch down here. All right, so there you go. A great card set in 4 colors. So just choose 4 colors. You could do fall colors. You could do crushed curry, garden green. I don't know if I would do, if I did cherry cobbler, I might do it off stamping, cherry cobbler. And there isn't a blue, but you could do blackberry bliss. So, you know, look at your stamps. If you wanted the brights, thanks. You could do daffodil, granny apple green, flirty flamingo, or magenta, melon mambo, either one. And for the blue, you could do coastal cabana or Bermuda Bay. So I've done the subtles. I haven't done the subtles. So saffron, pear pizzazz. You could do blushing bride or calypso coral, whichever one you wanted. Thanks, Marie. And for the blue, you could do pool party or balmy blue. So, you know, just look at your colors, and I mean, you could make a set in each color and have it. And if you know, if you don't want to change up your colors, use the same color for all 4. Do 4 yellow. But I think the different colors really give it some pizzazz, so to speak.